Hi, it's Angela, and I am here with your weekly guidance. This is your weekly forecast for the week of May 26th through into June 1st. I cannot believe we are here with the final week of May. We survived the month of May, and everything does feel a little lighter and brighter. So I hope that you are feeling those positive benefits that came in with the energy shift and change within this month. We do have 5 cards to wrap up the month, so let's get into it and see what's going on. All right, so we do have a bit of a learning curve coming in, and so there is the need for new it's almost like new information coming in. So most oftentimes this card would represent maybe taking extended learning or taking a class or taking training for work. This feels like doing something new, learning curve, trying something in a new way, teaching yourself something new, going through an experience that you have not experienced before. Okay, so this may not fall directly under kind of like an education umbrella that we may first assume at that first glance. To me, it's kind of like a learning curve, learning how to shift, learning how to welcome in a new experience, a new lifestyle, a new dietary plan. For an example, um, one of the things that Spirit loves to use an example is if we maybe learn that we're diabetic. And so now we have to learn how to eat. What can we eat to help keep our sugars low? We need to learn how to track our sugars, to use our little machine to test our blood, etc. So this would be something where you're learning something new and you're kind of learning how it works for you. And this isn't a class or training. Okay. And so some of you will have that direct class. Some of you will feel like, oh, you know what? I was on the fence of if I'm going to sign up for this class, or am I going to sign up to learn to be a yoga instructor or learn to do something new, or swimming classes or whatever it is. That some of you, that's what's applying. For most of you, it is learning something new through experience and finding your way through it, not wanting to not wanting you to feel or hold yourself back out of feeling vulnerable, feeling unsure, right? You are going to feel unsure until you lean into it. And then you're going to gain the knowledge you are totally able and capable. And this is something that's going to be coming in a positive way for you. So this is that encouragement for you to go ahead for it. With it. Okay. Now, there is a little bit of an inconvenience that's coming in. I would say for most in the first couple of days of the week, the first half of the week, it does feel like it's irritating. It's more annoying versus devastating. But what it seems to be doing is kicking up a lot of like that funky energy that we had earlier in the year. And so there is absolutely a potential for you to go, silly me for thinking that I turned a corner. Silly me for thinking that things could work out for me or things are getting easier. They obviously aren't. And then there seems to be this high potential of like a snowball effect. Okay. Now, this is one not accurate, meaning like it is a pity party. Have your pity party, but don't believe what you're saying to yourself or what you're feeling throughout the pity party. They do make me feel like this is temporary and it is isolated. And so this is not something that's coming in that is going to be a grand swipe of all the progress that you have been doing. This isn't going to be something that is meant to derail you. We are disappointed. Absolutely. Frustrated? Sure. Annoyed? But this does not mean that this is now the tone and things in everything that you've been doing to bring progress in is now wiped away. That's not what it is. And a lot of the times we love this all or nothing mentality. And so maybe we're getting a result that we don't like, or maybe we think that we should be having an experience that isn't what's lining up. Do not let that lead you into a falsehood that you're on the wrong path, that why even bother in the first place, that all of this was for nothing, that you are just cursed, that things don't work out for you. All of this is banter, and all of this is dialogue that is going to lead you away from the goals or lead you away from what you're intending to work on, grow, etc. Okay. And so it's creating a lot of negative reaction, ego reaction, but this has the potential for change. This is a conduit of change. And so really wanting to go, okay, yeah, you know what? Let me learn from this experience. Let me shift and change directions or change my approach. Or maybe simply go, you know what? This wasn't meant to work out. Better luck next time and keep going. Okay. There is exactly that. So this is all about this negative energy, this negative mindset, really feeling kind of down in the dumps, guys. And it is, like you said, spurred from this disappointment, right? And so just as a hypothetical and relatable example, it may be something like maybe we're trying to lose weight and we're tracking our calories and we're exercising and it's weigh in day and we get on the scale and maybe it didn't move or maybe it moved in the wrong direction. And then it's like all for nothing. But really, in truth, the changes of your habits are benefiting you. You're not checking your blood work, you're not checking your muscle mass. And so there really is this feeling of keep going, but we are definitely spiraling, right? And really going into this negative mindset and really going into that expecting the worst and allowing your worry and frustration to grow at a proportion. And so what I love to do, because the emotions are the emotions. We are not meant to attach to the emotions. We are not meant to identify as the emotions, but the emotions need to be felt and released. And so go, you know what? I'm having my pity party. My pity party is going to last 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'm getting my together and I'm letting it go and I'm doing my clearing meditation and I'm going to go and do something that makes me feel better. I'm going to go say my affirmations. And so allowing yourself to purge those emotions, but understanding that just because that is what you're feeling, just because that is what your mind is saying, doesn't mean that it's true. And it doesn't mean that it's all for nothing. It doesn't mean that your efforts are not worthwhile. Okay. The second learning card came out. So that's really interesting on how we started with a learning card and that we're continuing through the week with a learning card, which goes hand in hand with a lot of this new energy that we're in, new experiences, new opportunities, new relationships, new roles, new titles that are coming in within this week. When you tune in this week for the daily deep dives, you're going to see how almost every single day it's new beginnings, new opportunities. It's navigating the new energies, pushing through the vulnerabilities. And so learning this is new. This is new to you. Never have we experienced this before, or never have we navigated this before. And so there really needs to be that patience and understanding with yourself. You really need to listen. Like we get so excited. We get so excited, or at least I do. I get so excited when I'm like pulling some cards and seeing new beginnings and new opportunities coming in. And then the new beginnings and new opportunities come in. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I hate being new at things. I hate it. It makes me feel wildly uncomfortable. I'm a Virgo. I like things figured out. I like to have control over the things, right? And so even though I'm excited for the new, because I do know on that intuitive level that we are meant to change and evolve and grow, and that new experiences are coming in and new opportunities are meant to come in, and that our path is always expanding. But then when it's go time, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, this kind of goes against my nature. Still do it, but it's not as exciting as I first feel when it comes in. This is very common. This is why people hesitate to change or to lean into the discomfort, because it's uncomfortable and it's scary and it's vulnerable and it's all of those emotions that we have not been taught to tolerate and taught to process and move through. And so as we're going into these new learning opportunities and these new experiences that also have communication connected to it. And so whether this is public speaking or advocating for yourself or speaking up for yourself or putting your hat in a ring for a new job or new promotion that you're feeling nervous about, or speaking your truth in whatever manner that comes in for you, they are validating that that is exactly what's meant to happen right now, and that you are able and capable, and that you will be surprised when you push through and lean into that discomfort, and how you come out the other side, and how proud you are of yourself, and how your confidence has grown because of it, because you are showing up and doing the hard things. The hard things is not always, well, climbing Mount Everest. The hard things is pushing through those limiting beliefs, pushing through those feelings of vulnerability and risk and emotional risk. And I think that that is so underrated because that is what keeps us complacent most of the time. Now, there is also a letting go and a releasing this week. Okay. They also just showed me the releasing of balloons. And so if you're tuning in and you're honoring a family member, or there is an event where there's the releasing of the balloons, they do want to validate that. That would be your loved ones and your divine team acknowledging that. There's also this personal growth that comes from that bittersweet ending that leads to the new beginning. So as we do welcome in the new, we do release the old. And some of us were saying goodbye to people that we love, or saying goodbye to partnerships and relationships that no longer serve us, or environments or job environments that no longer serve us, or our home and our place of living. And however because they say with great sadness that will heal with time of letting go of the past. Personal growth that comes from challenges. And so you may be feeling that bittersweet, that tug this week, knowing maybe intellectually that these are the changes that are for our highest good, but emotionally we're having a different experience. Okay. And so really wanting to validate that a lot of things that we experience in this life are complex and maybe even contradicting emotionally, but that doesn't mean that any which way is wrong. That we are complex humans. We have complex systems, belief systems, emotional systems, spiritual systems, physical systems. We are extremely sensitive beyond our knowledge, right? And so a lot is happening. Okay. Give yourself some credit and give yourself a break and let yourself, without overthinking it, without trying to control it, just let it. We feel it and we release it and we lean into it. It is leading you to the star card, which is a success card. This discomfort is shaking out what needs to fall out to make room for what is needing to come in. And this says, have faith that the future is bright. Dreams come true. Positive changes that bring end to challenging times, the light at the end of the tunnel. And so if you're finding yourself digging deep to get through this week and digging deep to get excited about the changes, or amp yourself up to get the courage to do what needs to be done, or say what needs to be said, or feel what needs to be felt, know that they are validating that it is going to be worth your time to lean into that discomfort. All right, I'm going to leave that with you. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and don't forget to come back tomorrow for tomorrow's daily deep dive.